right, today I want to share with you how I go about placing my trades on NinjaTrader 8. How do I enter the market without taking on, much slippage of if not any slippage at all, okay? I am not in the business of having drawdown, all right? Meaning the moment I enter the market, I'm automatically or immediately involved in some slippage, and that could, depending on the chart you're trading from, could be a bad thing for a lot of people out there, especially if you have a small account. Now, I did a video talking about 3 ways to enter trades using NinjaTrader 8, in the past, but that was specifically surrounding the chart trader. A lot of you may have access to both the chart trader and the SuperDOM or SuperDOM, however you want to call it. And today I'm going to share with you, one way, or not say one way, but a few ways that you can actually, sell or buy using the SuperDOM or SuperDOM. Okay. Now I'm going to switch over to my to simulation because I don't want to be in my live account doing this. Okay. As an example or reference, let's say this was a supply zone, which it is. It's a high probability zone. And let's say this was at, say, 25,048. Okay. So with that said, if I was interested in going short from this area right here and the market pulls back to the supply zone and reacts off of it, this is a higher base chart. I'm not using a higher base chart to take my trades from, but I do use a higher range chart to mark up my zones first. The strategy and how I trade, there is a private community that is, you can become an elite or an ultra elite supporter. It's very inexpensive. And I'll talk about that towards the latter portion of the video, because that's really the where the blueprint or the cornerstone to how the strategy works, and how I go about using it is, that's what all that video content is. Okay, really, I'm be honest with you. I mean, there's lots of video content here on the public side of the channel, but if you're wanting to receive certain things like my trade breakdowns, the video playlist, all that valuable content, which I'll talk about towards the end of the video here, that's where everything is at. But let's move forward here. Now, if I was interested in going, and I'll talk about that towards the end, guys. And if you're interested in going short from this area right here, okay, the way I like to enter my trades is if I'm selling, I go sell ask, okay, or if I'm or sell bid. Always starting off first and foremost, sell ask, because that's letting the market know where I want to get into my trades at what price level, okay? If I want to get in a little bit more aggressive, I'll go sell bid, all right? I may get a few tick slippage there, but it's nothing like entering, with sell market, and there could be a lot of slippage there. I'm trying to avoid all that. I'm trying to keep myself out of drawdown as much as possible. So if I was interested in going short right here, I would select the number of contracts here that I want to go short with, and then click the button right here, and then it will, more likely, if I click, I would select sell ask, right? And if the market is at this price level right here, once I hit sell ask, if I got 2 contracts on, it's going to enter me at 2 contracts. And what I could do is I can click it right here, right? And that's letting the market know that, hey, if the market is down here, I'm waiting for the market to get back to here to, go short off of. Then that's going to be the most conservative way to enter an actual trade, is positioning on the right here on the grid or on the SuperDOM itself, right here on the price levels, where once you hit that, it's going to put a limit order out there. And let's say the market is already down, a few points, and then once it starts coming back, then or retracing back and taps and hits that limit order, then it will fill you. Or you can be like me, I hit sell ask normally right at that price area, and I'll kind of get filled. It may be like 1, maybe 2 tick slippage or whatever the case is. Sell bid is going to be a little bit more slippage, and then sell market is going to be a whole lot more. So the most conservative ways is either going to be select on the price level in which you want by using the SuperDOM here, okay, where you want to get in at. But for me, I never do that. I'm always hitting either sell ask or buy bid. If I'm wanting to go long, then I'll hit buy bid, okay, to get in at basically the least amount of slippage as possible. And if I want to get a little bit more aggressively, I'll go buy ask. Never do I enter with buy market. There's a lot of slippage there. I know a lot of people trade, going either sell ask or buy market. And if that's you, leave me a comment down below. Drop a comment and say, hey, I'm guilty of that. There's nothing wrong with it, okay? But I just know that once you do that, let's say the market is, for example, selling off, right? And let's say this was the area right here at 25,048. You want to get in that price level, and you hit sell market. So once you hit that sell market, and let's say you wanted to get in right here, but the market's already pulled back up this much, maybe let's say 2 or 3 points. Guess what? Now you're in drawdown. All right. Now you're in drawdown. Now, if it had skipped down here and it filled you, you could be already in some profit. But if you want to get it right here and then the market's already started pulling back, and by the time you hit the button, the market's already pulled back several points, then you're in drawdown. That's why I never hit sell market or buy market. Okay. So, again, I either go sell ask if I'm selling, okay, or be a little bit more aggressive on the sell bid, or buy bid when buying and buy ask if I want to be a little bit more aggressive. Again, you want to be and try to get into a trade, the best way possible to protect and preserve your capital and not immediately be in the drawdown, because that could be frustrating, and it could cause some people to really possibly even, blow their accounts if they are definitely trading from like a, depending on the chart they're trading from is what I'm trying to say. So the way I go about trading, I'm going to say this now, is that I mark up my levels on a higher base chart. So I'm using top-down analysis to figure out the overall direction of the market. And then what I'll do is I'll mark up my zones on a higher base chart depending on how the market's actually moving. So like right here, this is breaking structure lower. This is a highly probable and high profitability area of supply right here. So I would mark this zone up, and then I would scale down to a lower range chart. So as the market, once the market is retracing back to that zone on a higher range chart, I'll start to identify areas in which I can take my trades off the lower range chart once the market taps into this actual zone. And if there's nothing, say it taps the zone and there's nothing that I can trade from a lower range chart, so it's called a zone within a zone confluence, then what I'll do is once it taps the zone, the higher range, then I'll look for opportunity where the market may be starting to push lower, making structure breaks, meaning having supply areas where it's creating aggressive areas of selling to the downside once it hits the higher range zone, and then I'll look for pullback on the lower range chart to go short from. That's what I'm talking about when I am discussing or explaining to you about the strategy and how I trade. I know there's a variety of strategies out there that people trade using supply and demand, but the way I actually trade, and I'm looking for confluence. I'm not just trading based on the first tap into, I mean, not say first tap, but using one chart directly. I like to use multiple charts, two charts at least, to give you more confluence. And I talk about other things as well that can aid in confluence, like half and round numbers, the volume profile, things of that nature. So just that's what I'm talking about as far as the strategy and how I trade. But it's all surrounding supply and demand, because I believe that supply and demand is the most effective strategy out there, okay? But if you have access to the SuperDOM, and maybe you have access to the chart trader as well. I know people who have the free version of the NinjaTrader, they don't have access to the SuperDOM or DOM, but if you have like the lease license, which is like, I believe it's like the month-to-month plan that you have, or if you own your license right out, you do have access to the SuperDOM, okay? Or you should. So I could trade either way. Sometimes I use a chart trader, sometimes I use a SuperDOM, but that's how I enter my trades, just as a quick reference. Again, buy bid when going long, okay? Or buy ask if you want to, get in a little bit more aggressive, and then sell ask, the opposite of when going short, sell bid when actually going long if you want to get a little bit aggressive. These two here, I'm never hitting at all, never selecting at all, buy market or sell market. But again, that's up to you guys and how you want to trade. That just helps protect me, and I'm not taking on really any drawdown once I get into a trade by using limit orders, and that's pretty much what it is. Buy bid, buy ask. It's more so I treat it as placing a limit order, because sometimes I hit the buy bid button, right, and the market may have skipped up and it may not have settled or came back to that price there, and then it could be a few points, a few ticks or whatever above that area. So if I'm going long right here and I hit buy bid, the market could be up here, right? But I want to get to where to enter my trade at, not enter my trade, but place a limit order at was right here, 25,048. So I either have to wait for it to come back, or I can move up using the SuperDOM, my order back to where, a few ticks if I choose to. But at that point there, I could be chasing price as well. So I choose to let it sit where it's at and see if the market would come back to that area, okay? But I just want to share that with you guys today. Now, talking more about the elite and the ultra elite supporter community, because people always ask me, what do you receive, in doing so? It's very inexpensive, guys. I don't have like a trading course or a mentorship program. I use by means of video content, through means of valuable video content. When I say that, It's a private community. The elite members, what they receive are all my trade breakdown videos. That's where things are really broken down and discussed that surrounding the strategy, because trades that I post over on our Discord, okay, and if you're interested in joining the Discord, the link is down in the description. But the trades that I post over on the Discord, I break them down for the elite and the ultra elite supporters. Okay, that's where I go into detail about market structure, price action, stop loss placement, profit target areas, give you the full rundown of what I was thinking surrounding my mindset for each one of those trades. Because the more you watch that type video content, the easier the setups will start to be, the easier you start to understand structure and things of that nature, because you get the all the trade breakdown videos, the video playlist, and a great video surrounding market structure for anyone that's interested in becoming an elite supporter of the channel. Very, 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 very inexpensive. And if you wanted to become an ultra elite supporter, you receive everything I just discussed, plus my live recorded trading sessions as well. Now, if you're interested, the link is down in the description. Like I said, it's titled Ultra Elite Supporter. Click on that, and once you do, you'll see a few tiers pop up. You have the option to choose the elite tier or the ultra elite tier. And when you click on each one of them, it's going to show you the perks and rewards that you receive by, signing up for each one of those tiers. All right. So the choice is yours. The link is down in the description, as well as the Discord link. Now, if you have not taken the time to subscribe to the channel already, please do so by clicking that sub button right now. Make sure that you click the post notification, which is the bell, so you do not miss any of the uploaded content when I publish videos or post them. And last but not least, if you found some value in today's video covering, basically how I go about entering trades using the SuperDOM, I'm telling you, I'm making this video because I want to try to help people save money and not spend, or how should I say, be wasteful with their capital, because you never want to get into a trade and be automatically in a drawdown. Those market orders, they will do that, okay? So be proactive and think things through when you're actually trading. And I believe some of the best ways to get into the trades are limited orders, because you're telling the market where you want to get into the trade at, all right? Don't allow the market to, tell you where it wants you to be in the trade at. Tell it where you want to be in the trade, okay? But that's all I have today, guys. Again, if you have not already clicked that thumbs up button and like button, you found value in today's video, make sure to click that like button. I appreciate it. Take care and see everyone in the next one.